As we were discussing, the first aspect of emotional intelligence was self-awareness. Once you're aware of your strengths and weaknesses, limitations and needs and drives and feelings, that brings us to the second stage of emotional intelligence, which is self-regulation. The question sometimes asked is it important for leaders to be self-regulated, or is that have no consequence on the way they lead? What we need to understand is we all have these biological impulses and drives, which is very common for everyone. But what is possible for us is to manage these emotions. To get managed by these emotions or to manage these drives and emotions is what is there in our control. People who are self-regulated, it is not that they don't experience the ups and downs and the lows and the highs of the mood, but they are able to channelize them very well. In the Gita, Krishna gives these two analogies to explain this characteristic of a person who is self-regulated. He gives example of a tortoise. Just like a tortoise withdraws its limbs under its shell as soon as he sees some danger, similarly a self-regulated person controls his emotion as soon as he sees that he's in a scenario where his weaknesses are being plundered or he's being provoked or the situation is going to be volatile. Second analogy he gives is that of an ocean. Just like in an ocean during the rainy season, rivers just keep pouring their unlimited amount of waters into the ocean, but the ocean remains absolutely unagitated. The ocean doesn't spill over. The ocean is self-contained. Similarly, a self-regulated person, even if he is in a provoked situation, even if his emotions are volatile, he is able to control and express himself very, very coherently. The question can be asked, why does self-regulation matter so much to leadership? Three things. First is, self-regulated leaders create an environment of trust and fairness. When an environment of trust and fairness is created in an organization or a company or an institution, then politics goes down, in-department fighting goes down, the natural talented people gets attracted to that kind of workplace. Everybody wants to give their 100% because they understand that the leaders are not going to behave or take decisions impulsively. They create an environment of trust and fairness. And self-regulation has a trickle-down effect also. If everyone in the company knows that the top-level management is not going to flare up for no obvious reasons and they are very well contained, there are good chances that people at the lower rungs of responsibilities will follow the same. The second important thing why self-regulation is so important for leaders is because it engenders flexibility and adaptability. We all know how businesses these days are so volatile, uncertain, and ambiguous. Changes are so uncertain in the way we do business, the market situations. And in order to adjust to all these changes, what is required a lot is how we are able to embrace these changes effectively without becoming unnecessarily paranoid about the changes. So self-regulated leader or an individual can be open to change, channelize their emotions well, deal with their emotions well, and move forward. And the third thing which self-regulation brings in leadership is integrity. When people are able to control their impulses, they demonstrate higher and deeper degree of integrity. Whatever mistakes happen in the corporate world or life or business in general is sometimes just because of impulse. People encounter weaker moments and they crumble, they do something which is not in the interest of the company, it is not in the interest of their family or the job portfolio that they handle. But when people are able to control and regulate the drives and emotions, they are more effective in controlling these impulses and therefore they become more integral. Their integrity increases in terms of organizational behavior. And people with integrity creates organizations which demonstrates that integrity. Now, sometimes people think that leaders who are self-regulated in their emotions and drives, they become like cold fishes, but that's not true. People who are self-regulated have more effective ways of bringing in change, effectively taking decisions, implementing those decisions, because they are always in control of their emotions. And a study shows that over-exuberance or demonstrations of negative behavior, negative emotions, doesn't go well with effective leadership. So this is what we need in order to be effective leaders. this ability to self-regulate, the ability to understand, channelize your emotions for positive, constructive purpose.